Transitional Strategies by Laura Doss. That's the focus of this research paper. The autism spectrum disorder is a fast-growing disorder. It was first recognized in the 1940s, so it's fairly new. It's in infancy. There's the main types of the autism spectrum disorder that we talked about in this unit, and that was autism, Asperger's, and the pervasive development disorder. There's the way that you diagnose autism has been provided with these two main tools. The Autism Diagnostic Interview Revised, which is an interview with the parents, and then you have the Autism Diagnostic Observation Schedule, the generic one, and that's where it assesses the 3 areas of impairment that are associated with autism. Now, there's no known cause of autism that they can directly identify. It has been said that it could be a result of the environment. Originally, it was thought to be that the mothers of these children just didn't love their kids enough. They were called refrigerator moms. And the state took these children away from their parents. And when they did so, they put them in foster care or some other type of care. And it was not a good situation for the children or the parents. No two students that have autism are alike. Autism is a spectrum disorder, and therefore the spectrum is so wide and it varies so much that the children are not the same. You're not going to have one child who suffers from this and another child who suffers from this. They may, to an extent, but they will not have the exact same causes or the same instances all the way through, the same troubles, the same issues, okay? The degree in which the disability runs, and it varies. It varies from all different aspects of life. Some children may be nonverbal, some children may be verbal, some children may not be able to, to handle things the way that other children will be able to handle them. Okay, so it's very important to remember that no two students with autism are exactly alike. Students with autism in general struggle with transitional routines because they require and they thrive on these routines and procedures that are set in place. That's how they make it through their day. The unpredictability of something throws them off completely. And so they must be made aware of any type of change that's going to occur in the classroom or in life altogether. It's also important for us to remember that these students, they come to us with autism, but they leave us with autism as well. Autism is not a disorder that just happens in these few hours that they're in school. It is all the way through their life, and they have to fight this from birth till death. Okay? So disturbance in any routine can cause turbulence in the classroom, not just for the autistic student, but for all students involved. But before we go on to talk about these transitional strategies and ways to help these students with these transitional strategies, is for us to remember that there are 4 components to a transition. You have component 1, which is stopping the current task that you're doing. Okay. Component 2 is for them to start thinking about the task that they are going to do. Component 3 is to begin the next task, and component 4 is waiting for the next task to happen after that. Okay, so there's always a rolling type of transition. It's always a rolling process. You're always waiting for the next one. You're always planning for the next one, thinking about the one you're doing, getting ready for the following one. It's very overwhelming, and for the autistic child, it proves to be detrimental to some extent. Okay, there's 2 types of main transitional strategies that I talked about in my research paper, and visual strategies and auditory strategies are what they were. The visual strategies provide to be more beneficial to students. The autistic child struggles with language and language development and the way that they communicate with others. And so it's much easier for a student to look at visual cues and visual strategies. And so even if it's just having a visual timer on the board, or if it's their schedule that's posted up on the board with what time they're going here, what time they're going here, and what time they're going there, that helps the student know, hey, this is where I have to go, this is when I have to go, and this is how much time I have left before I need to go there. It causes a lot of the anxiety to reduce. And it helps that the student understand what's coming up next without teacher prompting. The students in the classroom will do better if they can get through a transition with as the least amount of prompting from the teacher as possible. Because any disturbance of any kind, whether it's from the teacher or something else, causes them to slow down and to not do it as fast as they should. The other one is auditory cues. The auditory cues it is a good transitional strategy, but it's something that you have to be very careful with. And the reason you have to be so careful with it is because there are students with autism who struggle with oversensitivity, meaning that if it's a sound that they're not familiar with or it's something they're not expecting, they can shut down completely. So teachers have to be very, very, very careful of this. However, it is auditory cues come in handy when the teacher can say, you have 5 minutes left in this activity before we transfer to the next one. So that provides to be beneficial to the students because they know, okay, time is coming to an end. I need to start preparing myself. This is where I need to go next. The teacher's ability to prepare the students for these transitions are key. It is very important that the teachers are educated in the different forms or the different strategies that students can use in transitioning because it's the teacher's job to prepare them for this transition. They need to be prepared for not only their day-to-day transitions, but they need to also be prepared for transitions that are unexpected. And you can't prepare them if you're not up to date and up to par on the different transitional strategies that they are. So transitional strategies are very, very important in the classroom and in life. In the classroom, more importantly, in my opinion, because it not only benefits the student, but it benefits all the students involved. Because a disruption from a child will hurt everybody in the classroom. So it's very important to do that. So the conclusion of my research paper is that transitional strategies are very important, especially for the autistic child, and that to educate the teacher on how to handle these transitional strategies proves to be monumental in the effectiveness of the classroom. Thank you.